Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Abhineet Shukla with the evening news. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to transfer 10th installment of PM Kisan scheme to bank accounts of more than 10 crore farmers tomorrow. GST Council decides to retain status quo on GST rate on textile to 5%. Centre asks states and union territories to upscale testing for COVID-19. Registration on Co-Win portal for vaccination of youngsters in age group of 15 to 18 years begins from tomorrow. New Year Eve celebrations in India and across the world to be subdued amid COVID restrictions. Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan to launch 100-day reading campaign Padhe Bharat from tomorrow. In cricket, India lifts Under-19 Asia Cup by defeating Sri Lanka by 9 wickets in one-day international final in Dubai. Smriti Mandhana nominated for prestigious Rachel Heyhoe Flint Trophy for ICC Women's Cricketer of the Year 2021. As India marches towards administering 150 crore vaccine doses against COVID-19, news about the new corona variant is a cause for concern. In this situation, we appeal to our listeners to get fully vaccinated at the earliest and help others get vaccinated. Please continue to follow these 3 simple steps to stay safe: wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, and focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact National Helpline numbers 011 2397 8046 and 1075. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will release the 10th installment of financial benefit under Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi scheme tomorrow through video conferencing. More than 20,000 crore rupees will be transferred to more than 10 crore beneficiaries. Under the PM Kisan scheme, financial benefit of 6,000 rupees per year is provided to the eligible farmer families. The amount is being transferred in 3 installments of 2,000 rupees. The fund is transferred directly to the bank accounts of the beneficiaries. So far, over 1,60,000 crore rupees have been transferred to farmers' families. Mr. Modi will also release equity grant of more than 14 crore rupees to about 351 farmer producer organizations, FPOs, which will benefit more than 1,24,000 farmers. The Prime Minister will interact with FPOs during the event and will also address the nation. Union Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar will also be present on the occasion. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will lay the foundation stone of Major Dhyan Chand Sports University at Meerut on Sunday. The university will be established at Salava and Kelly villages of Sardhana town in Meerut at an estimated cost of about 700 crore rupees. The sports university will be equipped with modern and state-of-the-art sports infrastructure, including synthetic hockey ground, football ground, basketball, volleyball, handball, kabaddi ground, lawn tennis court, gymnasium hall, synthetic running stadium, swimming pool, multipurpose hall and a cycling velodrome. The university will also house facilities for shooting, squash, gymnastics, weightlifting, archery, canoeing and kayaking, among other facilities. The university will have the capacity for training 1,080 sportspersons, including 540 female and 540 male sportspersons. One of the key areas of focus for the Prime Minister is inculcating sporting culture and establishing world-class sporting infrastructure in all parts of the country. The establishment of Major Dhyan Chand Sports University at Meerut will be a major step towards fulfilling this vision.
The GST Council has decided to retain the status quo on GST rate on textile to 5%. It has decided not to raise GST rate on textile to 12%. Briefing reporters after the 46th meeting of the GST Council in New Delhi today, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said the issue of GST rate on textile will be sent to the Tax Rate Rationalization Committee, which will submit its report by February next year.
There is a committee which is looking into rate rationalization, and it was decided today in the emergency meeting that textile again will be also put to the committee to review it along with the other items which they are anyway now reviewing. And the decision of the committee was that one, it will go to that rate rationalization committee to also include textile in their review and submit a report by February, which I agreed to have it circulated to all the ministers.
Meanwhile, Textiles Ministry has also said that the existing rates of 5% in textile sector will continue beyond 1st of January 2022. Earlier, the Department of Revenue had notified goods and services tax at 12% on man-made fibers, fabrics and apparel on 18th of November this year, which was to come into force from the 1st of January, that is tomorrow. The interest rates on various small savings schemes has been kept unchanged for the fourth quarter of this financial year. Finance Ministry said the rates of interest on small savings schemes from the 1st of January to the 31st of March 2022 will remain unchanged.
The centre has asked states and union territories to upscale testing for COVID-19 by fully utilizing the existing molecular testing capacity. As of now, India has a network of 3,117 molecular testing laboratories, and the estimated national daily testing capacity is more than 20 lakh per day. Union Health Secretary Rajesh Bhushan and ICMR DG Dr. Balram Bhargav has written a letter to all the Chief Secretaries of States and Union Territories in this regard. It has asked to set up round-the-clock functional rapid antigen test booths at different locations to offer widespread testing and easier access to all citizens. The centre has also asked to take appropriate measures to ensure adherence to physical distancing norms at all testing centres to minimize possibility of transmission at testing centres. Over 145 crore COVID-19 vaccines have been administered in the country so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. In a tweet, Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia expressed his gratitude to the doctors, scientists, healthcare and frontline workers for displaying immense grit, determination and resolve in the challenging 2021 year. He said the year is ending on a great note by crossing the milestone of 145 crore COVID-19 vaccinations. Meanwhile, 7,585 COVID patients have recovered during the last 24 hours and the national recovery rate stands at 98.36%.
Registration for vaccination of COVID jabs in the age group of 15 to 18 years will begin on CoWIN portal tomorrow. Health Ministry has said that beneficiaries can also avail a walk-in registration facility. CoWIN platform chief Dr. R.S. Sharma said the first precautionary dose of the COVID vaccine will be given to those above 60 years of age who received their second dose of the vaccine 9 months before registering for the third. Administration of precautionary third dose for the vulnerable categories will commence from the 10th of January. In an exclusive interview to AIR News, CEO of National Health Authority Dr. R.S. Sharma gave details of the vaccination for children and rollout of the booster dose.
हमारे फ्रंट लाइन वर्कर्स और हेल्थ वर्कर्स हैं, उनके लिए भी अगर उनका दोनों टीके लग चुके हैं और 9 महीने पूरा हो चुके हैं, तब वो एलिजिबल हो जाते हैं प्रिकॉशनरी डोज के लिए। तो ये कार्यक्रम भी 10 जनवरी से प्रारंभ होगा। तो उसके लिए उनको रजिस्ट्रेशन कराने की जरूरत नहीं है, वो सीधा अपने केंद्र में जा सकते हैं।
Bharat Biotech has said that its COVID-19 vaccine Covaxin has been proven to be safe for children between 2 to 18 years of age. The government has already given approval to use Covaxin for vaccinating children in the 15 to 18 age group from January the 3rd. This comes after the Drugs Controller General of India, DCGI, approved the use of Covaxin for children aged 12 years and above. The subject expert committee advising the regulator had cleared the vaccine for use in 2-year-old children and above. The tour of Rashtrapati Bhavan and Rashtrapati Bhavan Museum for the general public will remain closed from tomorrow till further notice. In a statement, President's Secretariat said the decision has been taken as a precautionary measure against the spread of COVID-19. The change of guard ceremony will not take place till further notice.
After 2 years of strict restrictions, people were gearing up to let their hair down during New Year celebrations. The COVID-19 pandemic had thrown normal life out of gear for several, and most were looking forward to welcoming 2022 for a better start. But with a few months to go for the celebrations, emerged the more contagious Omicron variant. As governments around the world face the new variant, people can safely alter their mega celebration plans to suit the needs of the pandemic. In India, various state governments and the centre have warned people to be cautious. Most states, such as Delhi, Maharashtra, Karnataka and Kerala, have reinforced COVID restrictions to stem the Omicron spread in the country. In the national capital, mass gatherings have been banned during New Year. The Delhi government said the district magistrates and district disaster management authority would be responsible for controlling the disease. In neighbouring Haryana, only fully vaccinated people will be allowed to enter malls and theatres starting the 1st of January. The Karnataka government said no parties or mass gatherings would be permitted in the state from the 30th of December to the 2nd of January. Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation BMC Commissioner Iqbal Singh Chahal has appealed to citizens to avoid gatherings and parties during the upcoming New Year and warned of stringent action against those who flout rules. In Gujarat, the New Year celebrations will be a low-key affair with no relaxations in night curfew and other COVID-related restrictions. We have more from our Ahmedabad correspondent.
The people are eager to say goodbye to the year 2021 and want to welcome the new year with new hope and aspirations. However, night curfew and other COVID-19 restrictions will not allow any public celebrations in the state. Movement of the people and commercial activities restricted from 11 p.m. in Ahmedabad, Vadodara, Surat, Rajkot, Jamnagar, Junagadh, Bhavnagar and Gandhinagar. Now the people have no options but to celebrate the new year inside their home. Yogesh Pandya, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee cautioned people on rising COVID infections, underlining that the new Omicron variant spreads faster. Kerala Health Minister Veena George has said self-quarantine will be strictly enforced in the state for those coming from abroad after a person coming from a non-high-risk country tested positive for the Omicron variant coronavirus. Everyone has to strictly follow the self-quarantine norms and avoid social interactions, crowded places, theatres and malls, the minister directed at a high-level meeting. Amid concerns, the Odisha government has urged all adults who have not yet received even the first dose of COVID-19 vaccine to take the jab. Such measures are expected to be implemented in other states as well to tackle the Omicron crisis. President Ramnath Kovind has greeted all the citizens of the country on the eve of New Year 2022. In his message, Mr. Kovind hoped that the new year will bring a lot of happiness and good health as well as success and prosperity in everyone's life. He also hoped that the new dawn of the new year will reinvigorate the spirit of peace, prosperity and fraternity in our lives. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that the first day of the new year 2022 will be dedicated to Annadata of the country. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said he will release the 10th installment of financial benefit under Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi scheme at 12:30 p.m. tomorrow. He said more than 20,000 crore rupees will be transferred to more than 10 crore farmers' families. The World Health Organization has urged countries to implement stricter measures and cancel events to control the spread of the variant now dominating the US, parts of England and rapidly spreading in Europe. The Bangkok Metropolitan Administration has announced that it will cancel all of its New Year countdown events due to potentially rapid spread of the Omicron strain of COVID-19. New York's Times Square is known for its extravagant style countdown to a new year, but the coronavirus pandemic seemed to have cast off its evil eye on this celebration. Just like majority of the entertainment venues around the globe, Times Square too has scaled back its celebrations this year. With the upcoming New Year celebrations, New York's Mayor Bill de Blasio has announced that the celebrations will be drastically scaled down with fears of an incoming wave of Omicron variant of coronavirus in the city.
बीते साल की खट्टी मीठी यादों को समेटकर आकाशवाणी का समाचार सेवा प्रभाग 31 दिसंबर की रात 9:30 बजे प्रसारित करेगा कार्यक्रम वर्ष 2021 की एक झलक। इसे आप सुन सकते हैं FM गोल्ड 100.1 मेगाहर्ट्ज और अतिरिक्त मीटरों पर।
ये कार्यक्रम हमारी वेबसाइट newsonair.nic.in, यूट्यूब चैनल न्यूज ऑन एआईआर ऑफिशियल और हमारे ट्विटर हैंडल @AIR News Alerts पर भी उपलब्ध होगा।
Union government has said that the national highways construction has gone up by more than 50%. Road Transport and Highways Ministry said in the last 7 years, length of national highways has gone up by around 91,000 kilometers in 2014 to around 1,41,000 kilometers till date. The ministry also said it has carried forward its mission to build good quality of national highways during the year. Government has said that the compound annual growth rate of digital transactions have gone up by 50%. Electronics and Information Technology Ministry said the number of digital transactions has increased from 1,085 crore rupees in 2016-17 to 5,554 crore in 2020-21. The ministry also said as a result of coordinated efforts of all stakeholders, the number of digital transactions has increased manifolds as of now.
The government has said that more than 22,500 irrigation wells have been constructed under Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana Har Khet Ko Pani. Jal Shakti Ministry said as on November this year, nearly 36,000 small and marginal farmers have been benefited under the scheme. The scheme was formulated with the vision of extending the coverage of irrigation Har Khet Ko Pani in a focused manner. Union Home Minister and senior BJP leader Amit Shah today said the centre and Uttar Pradesh government have done a lot to develop the spiritual cities like Ayodhya and Kashi, which no earlier government did. Addressing a rally in Ayodhya in Uttar Pradesh today, Amit Shah said the economy of the state is also improving and it is now number 2 in the country.
You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to transfer 10th installment of PM Kisan scheme to bank accounts of more than 10 crore farmers tomorrow. GST Council decides to retain status quo on GST rate on textile to 5%. Centre asks states and union territories to upscale testing for COVID-19. Registration on CoWIN platform for vaccination of youngsters in age group of 15 to 18 years begins tomorrow. New Year Eve celebrations in India and across the world to be subdued amid COVID restrictions. Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan to launch 100-day reading campaign Padhe Bharat from tomorrow. In cricket, India lifts Under-19 Asia Cup by defeating Sri Lanka by 9 wickets in one-day international final in Dubai. Smriti Mandhana nominated for prestigious Rachel Heyhoe Flynn Trophy for ICC Women's Cricketer of the Year 2021. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
सरकार में थे वो माफिया को संरक्षण देते थे। आज योगी जी की सरकार माफिया की सफाई में जुटी है। ये तभी तो यूपी के लोग कहते हैं फर्क साफ है।
हमारे नए उत्तर प्रदेश में माफियाओं, दंगाइयों और भ्रष्टों पर हो रहा प्रहार है, इसीलिए फर्क साफ है। 2017 के पहले आस्था का होता था अपमान, 2017 के बाद उसे मिल रहा उचित सम्मान। फर्क साफ है। 2017 से पहले मेरठ से दिल्ली पहुंचना था दूभर, 2017 के बाद दिल्ली बस 1 घंटे दूर। फर्क साफ है।
Welcome back to the evening news. Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan will launch a 100-day reading campaign Padhe Bharat from tomorrow. The reading campaign aims to have participation of all stakeholders at national and state level, including children, teachers, parents, community and educational administrators. The campaign marks an important step to improve learning levels of students as it develops creativity, critical thinking, vocabulary, and the ability to express both verbally and in writing. It will help children relate to their surroundings and real-life situations. Information and Broadcasting Ministry has said more than 185 YouTube channels of All India Radio and Doordarshan with audience spanning across more than 190 countries have together registered more than billion views this year. The ministry said the watch time for the entire duration of 2021 sums up to a stupendous figure of 94 million hours.
And now let's listen to our special program Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव।
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of this struggle every day.
Today we remember the freedom fighter and social activist Krishna Ballabh Sahai, who was born on the 31st of December 1898 at Sheikhpura in Bihar.
Soon after completing graduation, Krishna Ballabh jumped into the freedom struggle. Between 1930 and 1934, he was imprisoned 4 times for taking part in the civil disobedience movement.
It was during these terms in jail that he met his mentor, Sri Krishna Sinha. In 1942, Quit India movement was launched with great fierceness all over India, and K.B. Sahai led the movement at Hazaribagh.
The British government ordered immediate arrest of all the leaders, and Krishna Ballabh was sent to Hazaribagh jail. He was instrumental in the escape of Jayaprakash Narayan along with his associates on the 9th of November 1942.
As a result, he was shifted to Bhagalpur jail with orders for rigorous imprisonment. He also served as a member of the Constituent Assembly of India. After independence, when the interim government was formed in Bihar, K.B. Sahai was given the charge of the Revenue Ministry.
He is credited with having authored the first pioneering legislation in the country to abolish the zamindari system in 1952 and played a major role in land reforms. He also served as the 3rd Chief Minister of Bihar. He died in a road accident on the 5th of May 1974 on his way from Patna to Hazaribagh. We pay tribute to the noble soul.
December is also the death anniversary of freedom fighter and social activist Raj Narayan. He was born on the 23rd of November 1917 in Varanasi. Raj Narayan took active part in social activities during his student life. In 1934, Raj Narayan became a member of the Congress Socialist Party and helped organize a school and a labor organization.
He also served as a member of the National Committee of Students' Federation from 1939 to 1944. During the Quit India movement, Raj Narayan was the president of the Students' Congress and led protests in and around Varanasi. He was arrested on the 28th of September 1942 during the Quit India movement and was imprisoned till 1945.
When India became independent, Raj Narayan joined the Socialist Party. He was close to Acharya Narendra Dev and Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia. Dr. Lohia described him as a person who has the heart of a lion and practices of Gandhi. He became a member of the Rajya Sabha in 1966 from the Socialist Party. Raj Narayan also served as the Health Minister during the Janata Party government. He breathed his last on the 31st of December 1986 at the age of 69.
The 31st of December 2001 is also the death anniversary of T.M. Chidambara Raghunathan, a Tamil journalist who was sent to jail in 1942 for his participation in the Quit India movement.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
Best wishes to all consumers for Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Hallmark ensures purity of gold. Always purchase Hallmarked gold jewellery. For any consumer-related complaints, please contact National Consumer Helpline's toll-free number 14404. Issued in public interest by Department of Consumer Affairs, Government of India, Jago Grahak Jago. In cricket, India lifted Under-19 Asia Cup by defeating Sri Lanka by 9 wickets in a rain-interrupted one-day international final in Dubai through Duckworth-Lewis turn method. Earlier, Sri Lanka opted to bat first and scored 106 for 9 in the stipulated 38 overs. For India, Vicky Oswal scored 3 wickets each, while Kaushal Tambe picked up 2 wickets. Chasing a revised victory target of 102 runs in 32 overs, Indian opener Angakrish Raghuvanshi scored unbeaten half-century, while Sheikh Rashid added 31 not out to shape up the victory. India achieved the target, losing only 1 wicket and 63 balls to spare. India women's team cricketer Smriti Mandhana was today nominated for the prestigious Rachel Hayhoe Flynn Trophy for ICC Women's Cricketer of the Year 2021 award. With 855 runs in 22 internationals at an average of 38.86 with 1 century and 5 half-centuries, the year gone by has seen the 25-year-old Mandhana touch new heights.
The India Meteorological Department in Chennai has said 10 districts in Tamil Nadu and the adjoining Union Territory of Puducherry are set to get moderate to heavy to very heavy rainfall for 2 days from today. Its director, Dr. Puviyarasan, told reporters today the upper air circulation prevailing over the coastal region in the state will lead to widespread rainfall in the region. Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. National capital Delhi will have moderate fog. Minimum temperature will be 4 degrees Celsius, while maximum will be around 20 degrees. In Mumbai, minimum temperature will be 22 degrees, maximum around 31. The city is expected to have mainly clear sky. Chennai will have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. Temperature will vary between 24 and 30 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will have moderate fog. City will observe a minimum temperature of 15 degrees, maximum around 24. Srinagar will have partly cloudy sky becoming generally cloudy towards afternoon or evening or night. Temperature will hover between -3 and 9 degrees Celsius. Jammu will have fog in the morning and mainly clear sky later. Minimum temperature will be 5 degrees, maximum around 18. Leh is likely to have generally cloudy sky. Minimum and maximum temperature will hover between -16 and -3 degrees Celsius. Gilgit will have generally cloudy sky. Temperature will hover between -5 and 9 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad will have cloudy sky. Minimum temperature will be 5 degrees Celsius, maximum around 16. Visakhapatnam will have partly cloudy sky with haze. City will observe a minimum temperature of 22 degrees, maximum 28. Hyderabad will have fog or mist would occur in early morning. Temperature will hover between 17 and 29 degrees Celsius. Thiruvananthapuram will have partly cloudy sky. And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to transfer 10th installment of PM Kisan scheme to bank accounts of more than 10 crore farmers tomorrow. GST Council decides to retain status quo on GST rate on textile to 5%. Sent our states and union territories to upscale testing for COVID-19. Registration on CoWIN portal for vaccination of youngsters in age group of 15 to 18 years begins from tomorrow. New Year Eve celebrations in India and across the world to be subdued amid COVID restrictions. Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan to launch 100-day reading campaign Padhe Bharat from tomorrow. In cricket, India lifts Under-19 Asia Cup by defeating Sri Lanka by 9 wickets in one-day international final in Dubai. And Smriti Mandhana nominated for prestigious Rachel Hayhoe Flint Trophy for ICC Women's Cricketer of the Year 2021. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.